All right, let's move along to our next guest. Eryk Anders versus Thiago Santos, a main event that materialized on just 6 days this past weekend in Sao Paulo. In the end, Santos wins via TKO, doctor stoppage, at the end of the third round. Tough to see the scenes at the end of that round as Eryk Anders was trying to get to his corner, collapsing a couple times. He did not speak after the fight. Wanted to check in with him, see how he's feeling as he's back home in the United States. He's kind enough to be on the phone here for a couple minutes. Eryk, how are you?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Well, good to talk to you, man. That was a scary scene, and a lot of people were concerned. How are you feeling? Could you tell us off the bat just how are you feeling just a couple of days later?
I feel a lot better now. Got some much needed rest and 10-hour flight back home, but all good now.
What were you feeling? Do you remember what you were feeling in those closing moments of the fight?
Man, I was just exhausted. I've been playing sports and doing stuff like this my whole life, and never have I ever felt so exhausted in my life. It wasn't an act. I was trying to get to my stool to come out for the fourth round, but man, I was fully coherent. I could hear my coach, the cut man. I could hear and see what everybody was saying. I just want to go make it.
Was that more about the lack of training camp, the lack of preparation, as opposed to anything that he was doing to you in the fight?
I think so. I was sparring for this fight. I was training, but not doing a lot of cardio. That was, we fought at quite a pace for the whole 15 minutes. There wasn't a lull in the action too much at any point. So I think the pace of the fight, the lack of preparation. There was a lot of things that kind of came to a head there at the end of the round.
Do you agree with the stoppage?
Yeah, man. Even if I did make it back to the stool and stood up for the fourth round, it probably would have been a lot worse for me had, he been able to get his hands on me in that fourth round.
Have you watched the fight?
I haven't.
Have you seen that closing clip?
Yeah, I've seen where, the round ends and, I kind of roll back. Mark Goddard's legs are, holding me up. He steps back, I fall back. I try to get up, fall down, try to get up again and fall down again. And, at that point, they were like, just chill. The fight's over. Just stay down, do whatever you got to do.
What is that like for you to see that, to see yourself in that state?
Man, I went out on my shield, man. I gave it everything I had. I slept good that night. I rest, I don't think there's anything to hold my head down about. I went out there and literally gave it everything I had, and I'm okay with that.
Do you regret taking the fight?
No, not at all, man. Regardless of the outcome of how it ended and all that, I had a lot of fun in that fight. I learned a lot about myself, and not very many people can say that they've literally pushed themselves to the limit. And, I can say that.
So what did you learn about yourself?
Man, I was tired long before the end of that third round, and, I was able to push myself and literally take it to the point of exhaustion where, you can't even get up off the ground anymore. There have been several times, a lot of people say, I was exhausted. But it's more of a mental thing. This wasn't a mental thing. This was literally a physical thing. So, I enjoyed the fight. I had a lot of fun during the fight, regardless of how it ended and all that.
How was the weight cut?
The weight cut was groovy, man. I walk around and 220, 225. So to get to 205 is super easy. That first 15, 20 pounds, comes off, that's like a dietary thing. And then, it is a little bit more difficult to make 185, but, 205 is no sweat.
Any chance you liked it so much that you're going to stick around at 205?
Man, I'm definitely open to take 205 fights, but I think for longevity in my career, I think the 185 is the place for me.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, you really want to fight in December after going through that? Is that possible?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's like 3 months away. You know, that's perfect time to get it. Me and my wife take off to Spain tomorrow, so I get a week. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to, eat, sleep, and have a good time. And so that gives me plenty of time to, have more than 8 weeks of camp and, rest, recover, and get ready for that.
You don't want to just chill after going through all that, 6 days, exhaustion, all that. Like maybe just take the rest of the year off.
Nah, man, that's not me, man. I'm a workhorse, man. I like to get back in there. I love training. I love everything about this sport, and I want to do it as much and as often as I can.
What about your guy Elias Theodorou giving you props? Did you see that?
I saw that. I think the entire MMA community saw what happened, and the feedback has been great. To be honest, man, I thought there'd be a lot of people talking a lot of shit. But there really hasn't. I really haven't heard, read, or seen anything with people attacking me or whatever. So the people who fight, man, they know what's up, man. So they know that fighting somebody on 6 days, less than a month after your last fight, right after a fight, man, usually the guys and girls, they eat whatever, do whatever. They're not really training for real, so. They get it.
At some point in the future, would you love to get another crack at him with a full training camp? Is this something that you would love to see happen?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thiago's tough. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I think with he definitely won the fight, no doubt. But I think with the full training camp, that fight turns out a little bit differently. He was pretty tired and pretty exhausted himself, even after the second round. So, I fought 5 rounds twice before, and I've never, been gassed or tired or anything like that. This is my 13th fight, and that's never happened. So I think under the right circumstances, I walk away with the W.
And I just want to mention, because I just heard from him via Twitter DM, the referee in charge of that fight was the great Mark Goddard. He corrected me, so I wanted to correct it on the record with you on the phone that he was the one who called off the fight. I said a doctor stoppage. It was actually his call in between the 3rd and the 4th round. And clearly, I think no one disagrees, including yourself, with that call. It was hard, I must say. I felt for you, my man. It was tough to watch that. I don't want to see any fighter collapse like that. But I'm happy you're saying it was just from exhaustion, nothing else.
Yeah, bro. Mate, there's nothing to be. There's nothing to be sorry or sad about. I went out on my shield. I'd rather go out like that and lose a fight like that than the way I lost to Machida. That's heartbreaking. But to go out there and give it your all and literally collapse from exhaustion, I can live with that.
Well, great stuff, man. Thanks for taking the fight on such short notice, putting together such a great fight. What a performance on just 6 days' notice against an incredible fighter, a heavy hitter. You certainly laid it all on the line, and a pleasure as always to watch you. And thanks for coming on the show after just landing back in the United States. Enjoy your vacation. You deserve it, Eryk. Well done.
Hey, appreciate it, brother.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. There he is, your boy Eryk Anders, literally collapsing due to exhaustion. He said it was only exhaustion. Props to Mark Goddard for calling it off. That was the right call. Scary sight, but glad to hear that he's okay.